Meta Andromeda, and what it's going to do to your ad account and all this stuff. Listen into this video because it's not as scary as you think. I'm going to give you actually the tactical stuff to go ahead and do later on today to make sure that you succeed with Andromeda. Now, first off, I know you're on Twitter and YouTube and everyone's like doing all this clickbaity stuff like Meta's broken, you're going to go poor, and Zuckerberg's extracting cash from your bank account and all this stuff. And oh my Lord, what's going to happen? Look, pause. If you actually use the algorithm to your advantage, you actually can get insane results. We're seeing that on accounts that actually leverage Meta Andromeda's best practices, they're getting insane results, way better than they did before. Now, of course, on the flip side, the accounts that are not adapting, and a lot of the consulting students that come into our Inner Circle program, when we look into their account and we see that they're not adapting, yeah, they're the ones that are getting completely screwed. So they're dealing with instability, high CPMs, high ad costs, quick fatigue, all this stuff. So again, in today's video, we're gonna make sure that you have everything that you need to go out and succeed in the Meta Andromeda, period. So first off, what is Meta Andromeda? Now, Andromeda is an update that Meta put out around July, August of this year, so 2025, and essentially it's been rolled out to the majority of our accounts, pretty much all of them at this point. And all as it is it's just an update to the retrieval engine in Meta's algorithm, okay? And we're gonna get into what that means in a sec. And right here, I'm just screen sharing an SOP that I give to all of my Inner Circle students. And of course, we do all of this stuff on a completely done for you basis. Like when Andromeda came out and was just completely getting rolled out on all of our accounts, we're seeing a lot of weird stuff going on in July and August. We rehashed the entire strategy for every single one of our done for you clients. So if you want us to run your ads completely done for you, there's a link down in the description below. If you want this SOP, tons of training and a bunch more stuff on Andromeda and just ads, funnels, and how to scale in general, there's a link down below where you can join our Inner Circle program. But anyways, going through here, let's just talk about what Andromeda actually is. And yes, in this guide, I talk about understanding the actual Meta algorithm because that is very key, but this is just really a step in the actual algorithm. So what is the Andromeda update? Now, again, Meta Andromeda update rolled out around July and August of 2025 in most of our accounts. And by now, the time I'm recording this as well, October 25 has pretty much rolled out on all accounts. And if you're watching this video beyond October, you best bet that thing is on your account, so you need to listen up here. So Andromeda really has changed the meta ad landscape entirely, and it's not something you can really ignore. But again, it's here to help you if you allow it to help you. It's not scary, all right? You need to change how you approach running ads, scripting, and ideation. That's really the main thing. Now, Meta put out 2 articles here on the update. One's from the developer newsroom, the other one's from just the Meta newsroom. And if you want, I'm going to put both of these links in the description below so you can go and read those. But essentially, I just broke down a lot of the key points in these articles in this video, so keep staying tuned. Now, this update is a change in the ad retrieval process within Meta. So basically, it will require us advertisers to put more effort into the creative side of making our ads. That is the key part, all right? So we're gonna talk about what that actually means. But the key part to know is if you put more effort into your creative development and diversity in your accounts, you're going to win. Now, essentially, since AI has really just become to be this insane thing, right? A lot of us advertisers can now make a ton of variations of things fast, a lot of different hook and body methods with scripting as well, most people were doing. Advertisers have thrown lately just a lot more creatives into the platform, and Meta now essentially just has to deal with that increased volume. So they created Andromeda. Now, anything you see in quotes, that's just directly from Meta, so keep that in mind. But Andromeda is designed to maximize ads performance by utilizing the exponential growth in volume of eligible ads to the retrieval stage, okay? This is another direct quote from Meta. The increase in creative volume and diversity also means our system must process more information when determining who to show an ad to. This is where Meta Andromeda comes in, working behind the scenes to power more complex AI models that can better personalize which ads we show to somebody. Meta Andromeda has already led to an 8% improvement in ads quality. And now the key part here is that can better personalize which ads we show someone. So Meta is all about personalized content, same with ads, right? They want to match up your ad with the right person at the right time. That's the key part. So whatever messaging you have, the visuals, the theme of the ad, they want to match it up to somebody that resonates and is highly probable to convert in real time, given again that set of messaging, theme, and visuals that you put in your ad. So basically, all you got to know with Andromeda is Meta just got super, super good, even better. It was always really good, but it got even better and it just changed a little bit. So all you have to know with Andromeda really is that Meta just got even better at pairing your ad with the right person on the right side of the screen. So you have to give it a wide variety of ads to work with. You have to give it a lot of diversity and a lot of variation in the themes, the messaging, and the visuals of your ads. So this right here is a GIF that you'll see essentially in, I believe it's the developer article, but basically it shows a visual of kind of Andromeda, right? So, the first step in the process for Meta and how they serve ads is called the retrieval stage, which is now Andromeda, right? Andromeda impacted this. So the initial stage filters through millions of possible ad candidates to find a smaller, more relevant pool of a few thousand. Meta's retrieval engine, Andromeda, uses a multi-layered hierarchical index to identify the most relevant ads quickly and efficiently. Literally all Andromeda does, okay, this is all it does, is it finds the best couple thousand ads amongst a sea of millions of ads that are likely to get a user to convert and boils it down to a few thousand. That's really all this graphic does, right? So a ton of people just feed a ton of ads to Meta, and Andromeda just goes, okay, cool, I'm going to narrow it down to these few thousand that get served to these people. That's really it. Okay, that's all you got to know. So basically, Andromeda just sifts through every single ad that it can serve to somebody at any given point and boils it down to a few thousand and then hands it off to the next step in the algorithm, which is the ranking part of the process. And I do have a full breakdown in this SOP. Again, links down in the description below if you want to join our inner circle. I'll send this to you right away. Now, Andromeda essentially just made Meta's algorithm better at sifting through your specific messaging in your ad and matching it up with the right users. This is a very key thing. That means even small and more niched hooks, messaging, and ad ideas are actually performing pretty well in our accounts right now because Meta can now even better match your specific messaging that you put in your ad to the right user on the other side that is most probable to convert in real time through this updated retrieval process. And all this means is two things. One, you need to be more specific and dialed in with your messaging. And two, you need to put a lot more creatives into the actual ads manager that are diverse, okay? So again, you need to be specific to stand out amongst audience pockets. We're going to talk about how to do that in a second here. If you can make hyper relevant ads, have messaging that is super relevant in real time to the audience you are trying to reach, Meta will reward you. Meta's just saying, dude, we got so good at reading the visuals in your ads, the environment you're in, the messaging you have, the overall theme of your ad and the ad angle. We got so good at just analyzing that and then pairing it with the right people at the right time who are most probable to convert. So please stop saying the same generic stuff over and over again and stop doing this stuff where you have 20 static ads here and right here says the number one way to scale your business is through cold email, and this one says the best way is to scale through cold email, and this one says an awesome way is to scale through cold email, right? That's not varied. And a lot of people were just doing that. So Meta basically looks at these three ads and they say, all right, this is way too similar. So it penalizes you, gives you higher CPMs, worse reach, and higher ad costs. So you need diversity in your designs, you need diversity in your visuals, you need diversity in your messaging buckets, your ad angles, whatever you want to call it, right? Whatever you literally call it. You essentially just need each ad, whether it's static or video, to look way different and be around a way different angle of why your actual target audience that you're trying to reach should transact with you, should do business with you. That's really it, right? So it's variation, it's diversity, okay? That's the main thing. We don't want lazy advertising anymore, and Meta's telling you that. And actually, by the way here, so Jason Yim, if you're not following him on X, you are missing out. He is absolutely amazing. He is one of the client solutions managers over at Meta. And literally he put a tweet out, okay, that Meta is already quite literally rolling out a creative similarity report or metric that will literally show you how similar your ads are to each other, and you will be penalized if they are too similar. Do you see how important diversity is now in your ad accounts and coming up with different visuals, different themes, different messaging pockets, all this stuff? So creative similarity equals higher costs and worse results. They're literally telling you that. Like literally look at this right there. Okay, they're literally telling you that. And again, if you need some more proof, this is from Meta right here too. The system uses complex latent relationships between people's interest, products, and services to lever more personalized ads. So again, personalized ads is the key phrase that keeps coming up over and over and over again. This again means that the algorithm is getting way better at matching your specific ad to the right person at the right time, but only if you feed it enough creative variations for it to work through, because there's so many different types of people that resonate with different things in your target market at any given time. And again, just to sum it up before we go into some examples, all of this stuff about Andromeda means one thing. If you're not feeding Andromeda with the volume and variety in your creatives that it needs, you will not succeed, okay? The algorithm literally rewards creative diversification with better ad performance, better cost, more reach, cheaper reach, and better quality. So you need to scale up your creative output. That means make more ads in diversity and make different types of ads. And now let's talk about exploiting Meta Andromeda to actually succeed then. So how do we exploit this process now that we know what it is? So first is by, again, just feeding it diverse creatives. So a wide range of creatives is what we want to give the algorithm so it can sift through all of that creative, all of those messaging and visuals, and basically give it more ammo to match up to different users, right? So if I sit there and I can make a bunch of different ad angles, so I have like ad angle 1, ad angle 2, ad angle 3. Before, what we were seeing is Meta would only really just like spend to one ad. And now what we're seeing is actually Meta's giving a little bit more of a chance to different ad angles, because it's like, okay, cool, I got way better at reading what this angle is, and I see, oh, I see it pairs up really well with that guy. So I'm gonna take this ad angle 3 here, pair it up with that guy. Before, it would just like barely spend on it. It would basically look for the one that's gonna resonate with the most majority of people out of that ad set, and it would just spend on that one. Now it's like, okay, cool. Ad 1 is like the one that's resonating the most, so we're gonna give that the most spend, but also ad 2 over here, interesting. This actually pairs out in real time with those people over there. I'm gonna go serve it to there and give it some spend. So we're seeing a lot more stability in ad accounts and not even distribution of ad spend or reach or impressions on ad sets, on creatives by any means, but we're seeing a little bit more stability where these like nuanced hooks are actually getting good reach right now and getting good results. And right here's another quote from Meta. So as AI and automation's role in digital advertising grows, savvy advertisers have identified a new strategy, creative diversification, you've probably been hearing that a lot, that helps maintain their competitive edge. Last month, we shared how Meta's cutting-edge new AI model, Meta Andromeda, supports creative diversification strategies. Now we're taking a close look at how this works, beginning with why exactly creative diversification matters and how introducing more ads, right there, processing power with Meta Andromeda is helping businesses create more personalized connections at scale. So right here, personalized connections at scale, which basically means you better not be lazy with your messaging and you need to speak to things that your target market actually cares about and resonates with in real time. I keep saying this over and over again, but that's just literally what it is. So this is literally the definition of creative diversification from Meta. So creative diversification refers to the practice of creating a wide range of ad creatives, with different themes, messages, and visuals to cater to diverse audience segments. This approach acknowledges that advertising is not a one-size-fits-all and that a more nuanced and varied creative approach is needed to effectively engage with customers. Key statement here, right? Creating a wide range of ad creatives with different themes, messages, and visuals to cater to diverse audience segments. Different themes, messages, and visuals. Okay, and a wide range of ad creatives with different themes, messages, and visuals. Implant that in your freaking head because that's going to help you a lot. Now, let's break down what the word themes means, right? Some of you guys just read through stuff, especially like when Meta gives you a lot of vague things like this, because they don't want to just like reveal how crazy their tech is. A lot of it's probably, kind of on the edgy side of things in terms of what's ethical. But anyways, they give you a lot of these vague things, so you actually have to like look into the definitions of words to understand things further. So like, let's break down the word themes now. So themes is the subject of talk, a piece of writing, a person's thoughts, an exhibition, a topic. So theme is the topic of your ad, okay? So they're telling you that the theme of your ad needs to be different plus your messaging, so what you say in the ad, plus your visuals, okay? So we need to think of different ad themes and basically topics for our ads, vary up the messaging within those, and also the visuals. So theme is the topic or angle of the ad. Messaging is what you say, right? So here's an example again. Say that the theme of your ad is fixing show rates, and ad number 1 within that says the number 1 way to fix show rates is X versus, and another ad says the best way to fix show rates is X. That's not varied messaging at all, okay? It's just like literally the same thing. You change like 1 or 2 words, that's it. Meta is going to look at that and be like, too similar, nope, don't like it. And then the visuals, so like the editing, the environment, and the creator in the video could all be big things. And like the camera angle, if you use an iPhone versus a camera, all these things can be changing up the actual visuals of your ad, adding fresh B-rolls, another thing, all that stuff. So basically, we just need different themes, messaging, and visuals in our ads to create diversified ads and succeed with Andromeda. And here's another great quote from Meta too. So it's literally telling you, forget the idea of a perfect ad and focus on creating multiple diverse ad variants with different attributes to reach incremental audiences. One way to do this is to build personas that outline different customer needs and blockers to purchase. Interesting. By identifying these customer personas, you can align different value propositions and messages for these audiences in your ads. For example, younger shoppers might be more receptive to deals or value-based messages, and older shoppers might be more receptive to product reviews and demonstrations to feel confident in making an online purchase. With your creative brief in hand, marketers can now make decisions on what tools to use to amplify their messaging. So they're literally telling you to test a ton of different ad angles, and they're telling you that if you feed us different themes and messages and topics in your ads, we can reach different people. So don't say the same thing in the same way over and over and over again. Sit down and really focus on who are the personas, the types of people and the avatars that I'm actually trying to sell to, right? Because you're selling to coaches. There's a ton of different types of coaches, right? There's life coaches. There's coaches that are spending $500 plus a day on ads. There's new coaches. There's coaches that have been in the game for years. There's financial education coaches, there's young coaches, there's older coaches, there's in-person fitness coaches. Like there's so many different things. So first off, decide who you actually want to sell to, and then you're gonna come up with a bunch of different reasons why they should do business with you, and those are gonna be your ads. And we're gonna do an example here in a second. But again, Meta says down here, the biggest constraint you can put on your Meta strategy is the constraints you place on your creative process, so being lazy, right? By combining the value of creative diversification with Meta Andromeda's advanced AI capabilities, our aim is to help businesses feel confident taking creative liberty. That means just doing a bunch of creatives and testing things. The resulting wider range of diverse creatives can help advertisers increase the chances of their ads resonating with a broader audience. So basically, if you toss a ton of different ads with all a bunch of different topics and reasons why somebody should buy your product or service, Meta is like, hey, we can reach a lot more people now because we can match all those specific reasons up to a bunch of different people in your target market. So give us those reasons. Give us that creative diversity. And again, creative diversification in their own words is literally this. It says creative diversification or using a variety of ad creatives to reach different customers is so vital to campaign performance. That's one of our top tips this holiday season. So what does this mean for you as an advertiser, and how do you succeed with Andromeda? So again, it's all about that one thing that they keep saying over and over again, which is creative diversity, okay? So creative diversity is everything. So what we need to do is come up with a bunch of individualized ads, okay? So we're not doing the old practice of, 10 to like 30 hooks and then 1 to 2 bodies. We're seeing this just have a lot higher costs, a lot more fatigue, not a lot of stability. So what we're doing now is we're sitting down and we're writing down the avatars in which we're selling to. So basically what we'll do is we'll write down, okay, cool. This is avatar number 1 that we're selling to. This is avatar number 2 that we're selling to. This is avatar number 3 that we're selling to, okay? So basically what we'll do once we've identified our avatars is we're essentially just going to write out bullet points below here of the reasons why somebody should buy our product or service. We're gonna articulate different pain points these avatars have, talk about different desires that they have, talk about different outcomes that they want, talk about different maybe case studies or proof-led ad angles we can take that apply and would resonate with this avatar. So for example, just to make things, very easy here, let's say that we sell a organic protein powder. Let's say that our avatar one that we're trying to sell to is athletes, hardcore athletes. Then another one, let's say that we're selling to, busy moms trying to lose weight. Then let's say we're selling to those like health nuts, okay, those health freaks, we'll call them, people that are like super schizo about like everything that's in their food and all that. So like going with the grand narrative of clean ingredients and whole organic stuff, right? So what are all the reasons why someone would maybe buy our organic protein powder who is an athlete, okay? Well, first, maybe it is just high in protein. Maybe it has like no clumping, because I hate that, right? You put the protein powder into the milk or something like that and it's got all this clumping. So maybe it's like, yeah, ours doesn't clump. Maybe these athletes appreciate that it has a high absorption rate. And maybe even you can go a step further in having like a third-party study done. That could be a great ad hook where, hey, we tested our protein powder against 7 other of the industry-leading ones on the market, and ours had the highest absorption rate. Let me prove it to you. And you show like a nice third-party study. That'd be cool, but maybe these athletes really care about that. Next is maybe the convenience of it. So maybe it can be like combined well with water plus milk. So like, if you're on the go, you don't want to just like have a bunch of milk and it kind of like makes you feel really like bloated and everything like that. So, that's another thing. Maybe this has like no bloat, okay? And you just sit there and keep listing out, why would athletes buy my protein powder? What are different pain points they're experiencing with maybe other products right now that I could talk about? What are different outcomes they want, desires that they have, or some proof-led and case study-led hooks and angles that I can lean into? And again, I'm doing like a physical product. I know I talk a lot on this channel about like coaching offers and B2B stuff and all that. It's the same thing, but this is just an easier way to look at it. So all you would do is think about, what do I sell and who do I want to sell it to? Who do I want to attract? And you write down those avatars, and then you write down, again, all these sub reasons why they should buy your product or service. And you can get very granular with these too. Like I just said athletes, so maybe you have like leisurely athletes as one avatar, or like hardcore athletes, or maybe you only want to sell to one, maybe you want to sell to both, right? You have creative liberty now, right? Meta's telling you that you have creative liberty. Just give us stuff and we got you, buddy. That's really what it is. Then let's say, busy moms who want to lose weight, why would they want to buy it, right? Maybe it's convenient then in their eyes too. They can just kind of grab it and go. Maybe it combines really well in smoothies. Maybe it also supports energy levels for them throughout the day. Maybe their kids love it too. Like actually kids love this thing. It tastes great. Maybe ours is like chocolate or something. It tastes awesome. Maybe just talk about how it helps with like no midday crash. Maybe it can be mixed into some baking recipes. So you can have some ads that like show, hey, you can use this in like different baking things. Instead of just like a bunch of sugar and stuff, you make these like cool protein brownies. You can do that like TikTok style ad, right? Stuff like that. Maybe it just kills cravings. They're trying to lose weight, right? So it kills cravings. Maybe it just helps them like stay full longer. That's another thing. And right, and sure, there are some like nuanced differences between like, kills cravings and stays full. In your mind, you might think it's the same, but really it's different angles, right? Some people are going to resonate with, man, I have these like late night cravings. I got to get rid of them. Like, oh, this stuff helps it with that. It keeps you full. Just have this, it tastes great at the end of the night, and you won't have the cravings. So it's going to aid you on your weight loss journey. Then also helps you stay full longer. Cool. So like you have it in the morning or something like that. You're not going to want that like midday snack. You're not going to be snacking on M&Ms throughout the day and everything like that. It helps you stay full longer, but it doesn't give you that bloated feeling, right? And then maybe some celebrities use our stuff, right? Maybe some celebrities take this protein powder that they love. And here's the thing too, within this avatar and this avatar, you can vary up your visuals, right? So maybe the ads that are shot here are in like a gym or on like a football pitch, basketball court, something like that. And they have like, some jack dudes, maybe some runners and stuff like that too. You can vary up those visuals with the actual themes of your ads. And then maybe here, the ads you film for Avatar 2 are just moms and stuff, like in different settings around the house or, shopping, stuff like that. Not being sexist here at all, but again, you get what I mean. Stuff that would resonate with moms. Then maybe like the health freaks we're selling to, right? We're talking about how there's no, microplastics, how there's no like yellow 5 or whatever that stuff is, and like red 40, talking about how it wasn't made in a lab, so like no lab, it's all natural ingredients, you know, lean into the organic thing of it, show like the process of how it's made, you know, break down all the ingredients so it's like safe. And then, you know, this one here, you'd want obviously somebody who looks healthy and looks like they're very conscious about their health. That is essentially filming these ads. So once you listed out all of your avatars and you have all these individualized reasons why somebody should buy your product or service, why it stands out, all the pain points, desires, real-time circumstances and scenarios that they are experiencing, then what you do there is you just simply film a full-length ad for each one of these. So basically this would be its own hook, body, and CTA. This one would be a hook, body, CTA. This one would be a hook, body, CTA, right? All of these things. These are all individualized ads that are all centered around one piece of messaging and one idea, right? Marketing should be very simple. It's one idea per ad, one specific message that you go deep on per ad. Keep it very concise. You're not just like combining a ton of things. You can like kind of mention maybe a few here and there that kind of overlap, but you want to just really talk about, all right, this ad we're talking about and stressing how it's high in protein for these athletes to help them succeed. This one's talking about like no clumping, so maybe it can be very visual. This one's talking about the high absorption rate and the benefits of that. This one's here talking about how convenient it is. This one's here is talking about how there's no bloat. And again, you can like talk about the no clumping, and then you can start listing off in the body down below. Like it also has, you know, very high protein per serving, high absorption rate, super convenient, and there's no bloat. You can also list that off, but the majority of the ad should be around one specific messaging point, and it should be very freaking clear. And again, it's persona-based messaging. It's, okay, we're thinking about this type of person here, and these are all things that I think could resonate with them, and we're gonna talk about why, you know, high protein is something that could help them. We're going to talk about how no clumping probably pisses them off and just annoys that type of avatar and persona to no end, and how ours solves that pain point for them. And another thing too is when you're actually filming your ads, make sure that the visuals are like just different. Like the best ads that we've ran, we put a lot of time and effort into the actual visuals, the hooks themselves. We get super creative with things. We have great lighting, great camera, you know, we're making it like fast cuts and stuff like that. We're making it just super engaging. We want people to engage and stop. If you can make better ads and make ads that have great visuals, are super contextual to your target audience, and speak to their real-time needs and wants and pain points and desires, then you're going to succeed on Meta. You're gonna do super well, and really any ad platform for that matter, okay? But the visuals are very key too. And sure, direct camera does work really well if you actually have a good angle and some good editing, good lighting, stuff like that. So I'm not saying you have to go out and like do some crazy stuff over and over again, but you know, weave in a couple like props here and there, you know, into your ads. Like it doesn't take a lot to order a whiteboard to keep behind you, or stand in front of a whiteboard or something like that, or pull in even a freaking coffee mug or something like that on the table. Just like be a little bit different with your ads, and also vary up the camera angles here and there, right? And just try to get creative with your visuals. The more creative that you can be with Andromeda, the better you're going to do overall. So keep that in mind, right? Don't be afraid to push the limits. Now, what happens when you find a winner? Well, let's say that we found that every single time we talk about how our protein powder has all natural ingredients, it just crushes every single time. So what we can do is we can iterate off of that winner. And the thing that we used to do before was essentially we would just try to make a bunch of like slight hook variations of this ad and just slap it onto the same body. That's just not working as good anymore. So what we can do is we can just change up the visuals. So we can maybe change up the overall environment plus the messaging. Okay, so we want to reshoot the ad and change up the words that we actually use. We could stay within that theme, but we want to change up the messaging. We could also maybe try, you know, a different creator in the ad. We could try to make it more like skit-like, or maybe we can do more direct-to-camera-like in this one. We can then also play within that sandbox, right? So maybe our ad was super like direct response, talking about how this has like all natural ingredients and everything. Maybe we can do more of an educational ad where it breaks down all the actual ingredients inside of it, talks about them individually and what benefits they have and what they do. It could also be a comparison and contrast of like, hey, these are some other ingredients that are in most of the protein powders you're having and consuming on a daily basis. This is ours. It's all natural. And here's like the proof behind that, right? So we can like play within that theme. So I don't want you to think that like whenever you run one theme that you can never run it again. No, if it's a winner, you want to continuously iterate off that one as well, while at the same time, keep in mind, testing out different themes too to reach different pockets of people. And you can play within that sandbox, right? There might be now people who are athletes that care about all natural stuff. There might be the busy moms that care about all natural stuff. There might be college students that care about all natural stuff, older people, younger people, dads, right? All this stuff. So you can start playing within that sandbox too and coming up with different styles of ads within that overall winning theme. But just make sure that your messaging is different. Like, we don't want to do that stuff where it's, we have this like winning body here, and all as we do is we just change the first like 1 to 2 seconds or something, and maybe like add some like, only fresh B-roll over the ad, and just like, okay, cool, yeah, this worked before. Now we're just gonna like slightly change it and just keep running it over and over and over again. It's just not working anymore, and we're not seeing the life out of those iterations. So what we do is we say, all right, cool, all natural theme 1, cool, we're still gonna like test some new ones, but at the same time, we're now just gonna really focus on like changing up the environment. Maybe we'll get a different creator in there. We'll do like a skit type ad, direct to camera for this one. Maybe we'll just like refilm it with totally new messaging and like totally different words in it and everything like that in the same way. Maybe we'll do like a different camera angle with different messaging in this one, right? So remember, this would be like the topic, and you can also just re-script the ad with different messaging. That also works, but they just want to see diversity. They want to see variation. They want to see advertisers not just saying the same stuff over and over again in the same way. So that right there is your guide. What you have to do is just basically sit down, okay, and write down your avatars, write these reasons down, and then go out and film full-length individualized ads. And look, if you want us to do this completely done for you, so you just sit down, record for about an hour, and that's it. There's a link down in the description below that breaks down our full done for you offer. And then if you want to learn more about this and get that big old SOP plus a ton of other SOPs, resources, course content, plus 2 one-on-one calls per month and 3 group calls every single week, there's a link down in the description below to join our consulting program, the Inner Circle program. And if you have any questions, reach out to me on X or Instagram at Evan Seach, or comment down below. But again, Meta is not here to screw you, okay? It's not here to make you grab Jack Daniels or what is this, Johnny Walker at 9 a.m. and just stress out over your ads. It's here to guide you. And if you just follow these best practices, focus on creative diversity, you're going to win. And there's a couple other like super small things that we're seeing lately on this update. First is we're seeing if we have an account that we're running ads on that has a big audience base, like a big organic following, we're actually seeing like frequency spike up super fast on those accounts, because Meta is just like serving these ads to like followers and like video engagers. And look, if that's not converting, then try just going like totally cold. So basically just exclude, like all the way up to like 365 days, video viewers, followers, and stuff like that. All these different warm stacks that we have talked about on a couple other videos. And if you have any questions, you can hit me up on Twitter on this. But basically just exclude a warm audience stack in your cold campaigns, and that will be a true cold test. So like, don't show it to followers, past video viewers and engagers, stuff like that. Just layer on those warm interests, exclude them from your cold campaign, and that'll go totally cold. And we've been seeing that actually get good results, especially if we're working on an account that has a big following. And I've even worked on some accounts where they have a big following that's not even related to their niche or what they currently sell. Like, they pivoted offers or something like that in industries, and it's like we're just serving those ads initially to those people and just burning spend. So like when we go full cold, we see quicker results. So again, that does like prevent you from having like warm retargeting. We're doing this kind of like in this scenario where, again, we have an account that has a lot of followers, and typically every time we launch campaigns, we'll start to get some good results in like 2 to 3 days. And just lately, for example, maybe on that account, it's been like 4 to 5 days. And during those 4 to 5 days, frequency is just like shooting up through the roof, like 2.5 plus, sometimes like 3 plus. That's where we'll exclude these here and just go totally cold as a test. And really just the other final thing to note during all these updates and everything is we just want to feed in clean data. So we want to follow best practices on pixel conditioning. So we want to feed as close as we can to like SQL data back into the ad account. So we're switching all of our accounts really to just using the conversion API right now. So Nishi will feed back like manually marked qualified calls. So obviously like the goal is to get as close to an SQL. So like somebody the sales team actually talked to on the phone said, yep, they're qualified. We want to get as close to that being reported back to the ad platform as possible, but there is a delay here, which I don't really like because you can move audience pockets if Meta's not getting that feedback too fast. So what we do initially is we'll feedback front end like qualified calls, so like MQLs, just in our standard way, right? We'll use like the Typeform application to filter people out in a qualified and like unqualified route, and we'll only report the qualified people back into the ad platform through the conversion API. So we used to just like test out the browser pixel first, and then if we're getting like iffy results from that, we'll switch to the conversion API. Now I'm just like defaulting straight to conversion API. And then if like quality there is still kind of mixed and people are relying on the application, then what you do is you move a step further. You move to step 2, where you have, you know, a setter or someone that gets in contact with the lead quicker, or someone that's just like manually looking through the leads, mark them as qualified with like a tag or something in the CRM. And this again is before the main sales call. So there's a quicker feedback loop into Meta, and then that reports back through Cappy into the actual ad platform. And then third is if you have a lot of volume and a high volume, you can basically have, all right, cool, I talked to this person, they are an SQL, offer made, we'll feed that again back through the conversion API into the ad platform. But now more than ever, your messaging matters, and how you actually optimize the campaigns and what data you feed into it matters so much. And again, we're also still to this day optimizing around bottom of funnel events that are high quality. So like if we have a funnel, for example, that is just a normal VSL call funnel, and we have like an opt-in page, which I hate opt-in pages, but say we have opt-in here and it goes to a VSL page with an app plus calendar integration, and then this is like the confirm page. Say we have schedule here, the standard event code, and say we have lead here, right? Some of you guys are like optimizing around lead, and like you're just telling Meta, go find more people like this that literally just opt in and that's it. I like to optimize for the furthest bottom funnel event that I have volume for, which is, in this case, schedule. So really, I mean, you do want to aim for like a higher volume of these, but you know, if you can get anywhere from like 25 to 30 right now, I'm seeing that can get some good steam on a new campaign. So if you model it out and you're like, man, it's costing me, you know, $150 per call, and you're telling me I need, you know, 20 to 25 to 30, you know, calls a week to like fully optimize, like, yeah, you got to push some spend out. But here's the thing. I have ran campaigns where it only gets a few conversions every single week, like even like 5, 10, 15, because we only report back like very qualified people, and it still works really, really well. I'm just telling you, if you can get it up to this point, and ideally like 50 plus, but if you can get it up to like the 25 to 30 mark, you can just scale a lot quicker, because Meta's like, all right, cool, I'm getting dialed in, and those are the campaigns that we see really last for a long time. So like if you're at lower spend levels, let things just breathe and spend and learn, and don't just continuously like launch new stuff after like $1,000 in spend. Just let it accumulate to the point where Meta starts to get like, all right, cool, I got like 3 in these first few days, then I got 5, then it's like, oh, I know who to find now. Okay, cool, I got 7 the next few days. Oh shit, now I got 15, I got 20. Like it starts to kind of accumulate, and you start to close deals, by the way, too, so you can actually funnel more money into ad spend to accumulate these book calls faster. So just keep that in mind. But again, optimize for actually what you freaking want, which is a high quality standard event. If you're doing like, you know, obviously like a lead magnet funnel or an opt-in funnel or something like that, or a webinar funnel, like, yeah, you'll want to optimize around lead, complete registration, something like that. But if you're running like a call funnel or something, or like a purchase campaign where you're doing like a challenge funnel, like don't do that crap where it's like I optimize for like a button click. Just optimize for purchase, okay? And again, just know that over time, as you let things spend, you're going to get more and more conversions, and you'll be able to hit that nice goal of 50 plus per week on the conversion side. And that's where you're really cooking. And again, it takes time to get that spend level up to there, but you will get to that point. And if you're below that, do not worry. It's okay. Still spend, and just understand at lower spend levels, you got to give things more time. So again, that was a quick rant I went on afterwards. But again, if you want to join our Inner Circle program, there's a link down in the description below you can check on out. And also, if you want us to run your ads completely done for you, there's a link down in the description to our core offer below that as well. I'll see you in the next video.